Deebo Samuel's fitness. Now, this is totally subjective. They say he's in shape. They don't say what that means. They list him at 215. They want him to weigh 215. He's been at camp the last few days. He wears a t-shirt underneath his. He's not exactly like AJ Brown or DK Metcalf. You can't really tell. They're working him in slowly into the action, which is just a prudent thing to do. Can't really read into that one way or another. But it's not like he's out there tearing up practices and I can say, oh, yeah, boom, there's Deebo from last year. They're being, cautious with him. And I just can't help but notice, you can look at pictures. He looks like it. If I had to guess what he weighs right now, I would say between 220 and 225. And I could be wrong. But that's just what it looks like to me. Like just a smidge over his ideal weight. Was he got a month left? He has more than a month left to get into playing shape. But right now, nah, not to me. The guy who looks like he's in like phenomenal shape is Ayuk. And we'll talk about him later. But just he looks like he's got 6% body fat, super strong, maybe even too strong, but super duper strong. I mean, he looks like he's in the best shape I've seen him. Not so with Deebo, but not far off.
Does Deebo look explosive though?
I mean, I can't say that. Like, I can't say that. Like, I'm put it this way. He has his own level of explosive, right? He's still the most explosive player on the field, but like we've seen levels of Deebo. And today he had a fade route up the left sideline against Mosley and didn't pull away. Mosley's fast too. But I would expect Deebo to get him. Mosley was right there. Lance put it right over Deebo's shoulder and he dropped it. That has nothing to do with explosion. It just feels like maybe a little rusty. I mean, he had no catches today with the starters. None.
Yeah.
He had one catch with the second team. I guess it's to be expected, but I don't know. I think he looks a little overweight.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely say this. I mean, from pictures throughout the offseason, he looked a little thicker than usual, but I think it is normal that he's out of sync. I mean, quite frankly, it sounds to me like he was probably just doing a lot of conditioning stuff, right? And not trying to get hurt.
Right.
Probably not playing a lot of actual football. And so, it's going to take some time for sure. But that's also why it was important to get this deal done as quickly as possible. And they did before the first day of pads, which was fantastic. He was going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. But, he can come in a little thick. And I think that was also maybe a reason why the 49ers had incentive to wait. If they had given him the deal done, if they'd gotten the deal done months ago, how would Deebo have come in? And we'll never know that. Maybe it's not even an issue for him anymore. But I think that certainly had to play in the 49ers side of things.
Yes. He has more than enough time to get to his ideal playing weight and conditioning, clearly. I think the issue where the issue would come in is if he has a setback in any time. He needs to really have a smooth he needs to have a really consistent training camp from here on out. He needs to just do a little bit more every day because it seems like he's just a little behind. Whereas, some guys come into training camp already in peak condition. He didn't, in my opinion. It's my amateur opinion. He didn't, but he's not far off. He just needs to use this training camp to get there. So you can't miss a week. You can't miss 2 weeks because then it could snowball. And again, maybe I'm Jewish. I worry. I look at someone, I'm like, oh my God. He's 7 pounds over. Oh, my God. But maybe I'm just projecting my own insecurities on him. I don't know. I feel like I'm 7 pounds over. It's really hard to say. I'd like to know what someone else thinks of Deebo Samuel's fitness. I'd like to get a poll. But deep down, I feel he weighs 223 pounds and a half.
223 and a half.
Yes.
That half's important.
Roughly.
I get it. Yeah, roughly. Give or take on the Grant ice scale. I like it. No, okay. Listen, and he may be a little bit out of shape, right? But I don't think, as long as he doesn't get hurt, that's the biggest thing. Because you're right, if he has to miss time, even if it's something small, missing time means you're not getting in shape, and then it could linger into the season, and then all of a sudden it's week 5 before you really start to see Deebo be Deebo. You just don't want those things to happen. I get it.
He's a phenomenal athlete, one of the best athletes in the league, if not the best. He's a great athlete. When he came to the team, I was surprised at how thick he was. and he wears like a t-shirt, like one of those college basketball players who's not in the greatest shape. Like, I was always surprised, like, wow, and you're a great athlete, but like, I always figured, if you become a serious all pro, most players kind of lose the college body and sort of get it. I don't know. He never did. He still has the same body, and that's, I guess, who will always be, which is kind of amazing when you compare him to other wide receivers. But it works for him. It works for him as long as he doesn't pull his hamstring.
Yeah, and I think there are just different body types, right? Again, and I talk about this a lot. I'm an MMA guy, but Daniel Cormier was a light heavyweight and heavyweight champion. He was always pudgy, no matter how hard he worked. But when you compare him, he was like 5'11", well overweight, always had a belly on him.
Yeah.
He fought a guy named John Jones who's 6'4", has brothers in the NFL, looks the part.
Yeah.
John Jones can't dunk a basketball. Daniel Cormier can, right?
Yeah.
Like some people just have that natural athleticism, but their body doesn't seem to fit that athleticism. I think that's where Deebo's at a little bit. I think he's always going to be, it's always going to be hard to lose that baby fat, but it really doesn't matter because the athleticism is through the roof.
Yep, absolutely. Anyway, I'm not trying to get anyone panicked. It's just my initial observation, more than a month out from week 1.
Sure.
Love y'all, says Lorenzo Pinto. Thank you, Lorenzo. Love y'all. Love you too. We got one more from, hold on, Rajbir. Almost everyone in and around the teaming as saying this is the best D in the league. Thoughts? Well, they're going up against a really questionable offensive line that's making them feel really good about themselves right now. They'll have to need, I don't know about that, but I think they're in the running.